Hey everybody, Lex here, and with me today is the awesome Vera for another deep dive from Shield Media.
Hey everyone!
So today we're going to be talking about something that should have all our business owners and C-level execs out of there sitting up straight. And that is how Google's latest moves are completely reshaping the e-commerce landscape as we know it. We've been doing a ton of research lately, looking at articles and case studies, and I got to say the insights are pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah,
We're not talking about just some minor algorithm tweaks here, folks. This is like a fundamental shift in how people are finding products online. And if you're not prepared for this, it can seriously impact your bottom line. And to help us break down this really complex topic, we have our resident SEO guru with us today. They've been deep in the trenches, really analyzing these changes and figuring out how businesses can not only adapt, but actually thrive in this new era of e-commerce.
it's a very interesting time to be in e-commerce, that's for sure. I think what's really interesting is that Google isn't just, tweaking its search algorithms. They're actively trying to become like the primary destination for online shopping, essentially replacing the traditional category page experience that we're all used to.
Okay, so hold on. Walk me through this a little
Yeah.
bit. What exactly do you mean by replacing the category page? I mean, people still browse websites, right?
They do,
Yeah.
but Google is making a big play to keep users within its own ecosystem for as much of that shopping journey as possible. So instead of sending traffic to your, meticulously crafted category pages, they're displaying product grids, filters, reviews, detailed product information right there on the search results page. Think of it like Google trying to basically emulate the experience that you get on Amazon, but directly within a Google search.
Okay, that makes sense. And we've actually seen some pretty concrete examples of this in our research. Like one article we were looking at showed how searches for broad terms like sneakers now display these visual product grids from various brands before any organic website listings even show up. It's almost like Google saying, hey, why even bother clicking through to a website when you can find everything you need right here?
Exactly, and it goes even deeper than that. They're incorporating filter options that mimic traditional faceted navigation. So users can, narrow down their search by size, color, price range, all that stuff, all without ever leaving that Google search
So
page.
it's like Google saying, well, we'll take it from here, thanks. Which brings up a pretty crucial question. If Google is becoming this kind of de facto category page for online shopping, what happens to the category pages on our own websites? Are they just digital dinosaurs waiting for extinction?
Well, the answer isn't quite that simple. It's more of a power shift than a complete extinction event. I think category pages still have value, especially for brand storytelling and showcasing your broader product range. But their role in driving organic traffic is definitely diminishing. Google is making it very clear that product pages are now the main stage.
So it's less about the death of the category page and more about a strategic realignment. Like instead of funneling all of our SEO efforts into these broad category pages, we need to treat each product page as its own kind of mini category page. Is that what you're saying?
You got it. Each product page needs to be this powerhouse of information optimized to answer every conceivable question that a potential customer might have about that specific product. We're talking detailed descriptions, high-quality images, user reviews, and of course, strategic keyword integration.
And speaking of keywords, I know Brody Clark has been doing some really fascinating research on the importance of product data feeds in this new SEO landscape. And I know you've been following his work pretty closely. So what are some of the key takeaways there?
Yeah, Birdie's tests have been incredibly revealing. He's shown how critical it is to have a robust and accurate product data feed, because Google is pulling information directly from these feeds to populate those product grids and features that we were talking about. So if your data is incomplete or inaccurate or missing key details, you're essentially invisible in this new search environment.
So it's not enough to just have great product pages on your website.
Yeah.
You also need to make sure that your product data is meticulously managed and optimized for Google's algorithms. And that's where Google Merchant Center comes in, right?
Absolutely. Think of Google Merchant Center as your direct line of communication with Google's shop-in ecosystem. It's where you upload, manage, and optimize your product feed, ensuring that Google has all the information that it needs to showcase your products effectively in those all-important search results.
This is all starting to make a lot more sense now.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, it's also a little bit daunting. It sounds like Google's making it even harder for smaller businesses to compete, especially when they're going up against giants like Amazon with seemingly endless resources.
That's a common misconception, actually. What's fascinating is that Google's changes are in many ways leveling the playing field for smaller brands. It's all about understanding how to leverage these changes to your advantage.
Okay, now you've got me really intrigued. How is Google inadvertently helping smaller businesses?
It all boils down to those product pages and long-tail keywords that we were talking about earlier. See, bigger brands, they tend to focus on these broad, high-volume keywords that are incredibly competitive. Smaller brands can't realistically compete for those top spots. But by strategically optimizing their product pages for very specific long-tail keywords, they can actually carve out their own little niche and reach a highly targeted audience that's more likely to convert.
I'm starting to see the light here. So instead of trying to win the popularity contest for generic keywords like running shoes, a smaller brand could focus on more specific searches like women's minimalist trail running shoes size 8, right?
Precisely. One of the articles we read actually used a great example. They showed how filter in a search for jeans down to a more specific query, like size 36 flare jeans, suddenly brought up a bunch of smaller niche brands, alongside the usual Levi's and Wranglers of the world.
So it's like Google's inadvertently created this kind of backdoor.
Mm-hmm.
For smaller brands to sneak into those high-value search results, that's actually pretty brilliant if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But what about affiliate sites? Their whole model is built around informational content and product reviews. How are they supposed to survive in this new product-centric world?
Well, that's where things get a little bit trickier. Affiliate sites are definitely facing an uphill battle. Google's prioritizing direct product listings is essentially cutting them out of the equation in many cases.
We've got a prime example of this in our research with the Wirecutter. They're known for their really in-depth product reviews. But even they're seeing a decline in rankings and traffic as Google pushes its own shopping features.
Yeah, it's a clear signal that Google's playing hardball. They're prioritizing their own properties and direct product listings, even when it means pushing aside high-quality informational content from trusted sources like the Wirecutter.
So what's the solution for these affiliate sites? Should they just kind of throw in the towel and move on to other platforms?
Not necessarily. While it's going to be tougher than ever, there are still ways for affiliate sites to adapt and thrive, but it requires a fundamental shift in their approach. Instead of focusing on these broad product reviews that compete directly with Google's shopping features, they need to find ways to create truly unique content that offers value beyond what Google can provide.
I'm curious, what would that kind of content look like?
It's about going deeper. Offering more than just basic product specs and comparisons. Think about creating expert guides, in-depth tutorials, unique use case scenarios, or content that taps into a specific niche or passion within your target audience. They also need to focus on building a strong brand identity and authority that sets them apart from the generic product listings.
So it's about becoming a thought leader, a trusted source of information that goes beyond just pushing products.
That makes a lot of sense. But let's be honest, it's going to be an uphill battle.
What about the bigger picture here? What does the future hold for e-commerce SEO? It's just the tip of the iceberg.
I think it's safe to say that Google's just getting started. We can expect them to continue refining their e-commerce search experience, integrating even more product-focused features, and possibly even expanding these changes into other areas.
And that's precisely why we wanted to have this conversation today. These changes are already happening and they're not going away. For any business owner or C-level executive listening, the takeaway here is crystal clear. Adapt or get left behind. Google's determined to dominate the e-commerce landscape. And you need to be prepared to ride that wave, not get swallowed by it.
One thing I find particularly interesting is that this whole shift towards product pages has implications beyond just SEO. It's fundamentally changing how businesses need to think about their entire digital strategy.
You're absolutely right. It's not just about tweaking your website or optimizing a few keywords anymore. It's about understanding how consumer behavior is changing, how people are searching for and discovering products in this new Google-centric world.
And that means thinking beyond traditional SEO tactics. It's about leveraging product data to its full potential, optimizing for voice search. As more people shop using voice assistants and creating content that aligns with the way people are actually shopping online.
And for those of you in our audience who are feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this, don't worry, you're not alone. This stuff is complex and it's constantly evolving. That's why we started Shield Media, a digital marketing agency dedicated to helping businesses like yours navigate these choppy waters and achieve real results.
We're passionate about empowering Western businesses with the knowledge and tools they need to succeed online. Whether you're struggling with local SEO paid advertising or social media marketing, our team of experts is here to help. We believe that knowledge is power, and we're committed to sharing our insights and expertise with our clients.
Exactly. We're not just about implementing cookie-cutter strategies. We're about building long-term partnerships and helping our clients understand the why behind the what. So if you're feeling lost in this new e-commerce landscape, or you're just looking for a trusted partner to guide you through it, head over to our website or find us on social media. We're always happy to chat and share some insights.
And remember, the best time to adapt is now. Don't wait until your competitors are miles ahead.
Now, before we jump into some specific strategies and actual takeaways, let's take a quick pause to recap the key points we've covered so far.
First and foremost, Google is transforming the way we shop online, essentially becoming the new category page for e-commerce.
They're prioritizing product pages and rich product data over traditional category pages, which means you need to shift your SEO focus accordingly.
Make sure each product page is optimized with detailed information, high-quality images, relevant keywords, and engaging content that answers all potential customer questions.
And don't underestimate the importance of product data feeds. These are absolutely crucial for visibility in Google's product grids and features, so ensure your data is accurate, complete, and optimized for both broad and long-tail keywords.
The good news is that these changes present a unique opportunity for smaller brands, who can now compete more effectively by strategically targeting those long-tail keywords and carving out their own niche.
But for affiliate sites, it's a different story. They're facing a much tougher battle as Google prioritizes direct product listings over informational content.
To stay relevant, they'll need to focus on creating truly unique content that offers value beyond basic product reviews, building strong brand authority, and diversifying their traffic sources.
And looking ahead, we can expect Google to continue down this path, integrating even more product-focused features and possibly expanding these changes into new territories. So stay agile, stay informed, and be prepared to adapt.
It's an exciting time to be in e-commerce, but it's also a challenging one. By understanding the forces at play and adapting your strategies accordingly, you can not only survive, but thrive in this new era of online shopping.
And for those of you listening, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder. As we move into the next part of our deep dive, how can you leverage these changes to your advantage? How can you turn this potential disruption into a powerful opportunity to gain a competitive edge in your market?
Think about your unique business, your target audience, and your current online strategy. Where are the gaps? What are the opportunities? And most importantly, how can you adapt to not just keep up, but pull ahead in this rapidly evolving landscape?
We'll be back after a quick break to explore these questions and more. But before we do, don't forget to hit that follow button so you don't miss out on future deep dives like this one. And if you're finding this episode valuable, please share with other business owners or C-level execs who could benefit from these insights. The more we understand these changes, the better equipped we'll all be to navigate them successfully. We'll be right back.
It's all about embracing a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation. The digital landscape is constantly shifting, and what works today might be obsolete tomorrow. So the businesses that thrive in this environment are the ones that are agile, data-driven, and always willing to experiment.
That makes a lot of sense, but for someone who's maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, where do they even begin? I mean, there's so many moving parts to this.
It can definitely feel daunting, but the key is to break it down into manageable steps. Start by focusing on your product pages. Audit your existing content. Make sure it's comprehensive, engaging, and optimized for the right keywords. Think about what questions your customers are asking and make sure those questions are answered clearly and thoroughly on the page.
And don't forget about those high-quality images. We're visual creatures, and in the world of e-commerce, a picture really is worth 1,000 words.
Absolutely. Invest in professional product photography that showcases your products in the best possible light. And don't be afraid to get creative with video content as well. Short product demos, behind-the-scenes glimpses, or even user-generated content can add a lot of value and make your products more appealing.
It's all about creating an experience, right? It's not just about lists and features and benefits anymore. You need to tell a story. Connect with your audience on an emotional level and make them feel confident about choosing your product over the competition.
Exactly. And a big part of that is building trust and credibility. That's where things like user reviews and social proof become incredibly important. Encourage your satisfied customers to leave reviews, showcase testimonials on your product pages, and leverage social media to highlight positive experiences with your brand.
It's all about creating that sense of community and authenticity that people crave these days,
Yeah.
especially when they're shopping online and can't physically interact with your products.
Speaking of social media, that's another area where businesses need to adapt their strategies. It's not just about posting pretty pictures and hoping for likes anymore. You need to think about how you can use social media to drive traffic to those all-important product pages. Engage with your audience in meaningful ways and build relationships that lead to conversions.
And that's not always easy. The social media landscape is just as dynamic and ever-changing as the world of SEO. It feels like every time you figure something out, the rules change again.
It's true, but that's also what makes it so exciting. It's a constant challenge, but it's also an opportunity to be creative, experiment with new approaches, and find innovative ways to connect with your audience.
So what are some specific tactics that businesses can use to stay ahead of the curve on social media?
One thing that's becoming increasingly important is personalization. People are bombarded with so much information these days that they're tuning out anything that feels generic or irrelevant. So you need to tailor your social media content to the specific interests and needs of your target audience.
It's about quality over quantity,
Yes.
right? It's better to have a smaller, highly engaged audience than a massive following that doesn't really care about your brand.
Precisely. Focus on building genuine connections, fostering meaningful conversations, and creating content that adds real value to your audience's lives. And don't be afraid to experiment with different formats and platforms to see what resonates best with your specific target market.
And I think it's also important to remember that social media is a two-way street. It's not just about broadcasting your message. It's about listening to your audience, responding to their questions and concerns, and using their feedback to improve your products and services.
Absolutely. Social media is a powerful tool for customer service and reputation management. It's an opportunity to address issues, proactively demonstrate your commitment to customer satisfaction, and build a loyal following that advocates for your brand.
And that kind of brand loyalty is more valuable than ever in today's competitive landscape.
Speaking of competition, let's talk about how these changes are impacting different types of businesses. We've already touched on the challenges facing affiliate sites, but what about smaller independent retailers? Are they at a disadvantage in this new world of Google-driven e-commerce?
That's a great question. I think it's easy to assume that the bigger players with their vast resources and established brand recognition have an automatic advantage. But as we discussed earlier, there are actually some unique opportunities for smaller businesses to leverage these changes to their benefit.
Exactly. One of the most important things for smaller businesses to focus on is niche marketing. Instead of trying to compete head-on with the big guys for generic keywords, they need to identify specific niches within their market where they can establish themselves as the go-to experts.
It's about finding those underserved segments of the market and tailoring your products, content, and marketing messages to their unique needs and interests.
And that's where those long-tail keywords come in again. By targeting highly specific search terms that reflect the specific needs and desires of their niche audience, smaller businesses can increase their visibility in search results, attract more qualified leads, and ultimately drive more conversions.
It's about working smarter, not harder. And in many ways, these changes are forcing businesses to become more strategic and intentional with their marketing efforts.
It's a shift from a mass market approach to a more targeted, personalized approach, which in my opinion is a positive development for both businesses and consumers.
I completely agree. It's about creating more meaningful connections, delivering more relevant experiences, and ultimately building stronger relationships between brands and their customers.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? At the end of the day, business is about people. And these changes are simply reflecting the evolving ways in which people are discovering, researching, and purchasing products online.
So the businesses that succeed in this new landscape are the ones that embrace this evolution, adapt their strategies, and put their customers at the center of everything they do.
And that's where Shield Media comes in. Our mission is to help Western businesses navigate this complex and ever-changing digital world.
We're passionate about empowering our clients with the knowledge, tools, and strategies they need to not only survive, but thrive in this new era of e-commerce.
Whether you're struggling with local SEO, paid advertising, or social media marketing, our team of experts is here to help you achieve your business goals and reach your full potential online.
We believe that every business has a unique story to tell, and we're dedicated to helping our clients share their stories with the world in a way that resonates with their target audience and drives meaningful results.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed by these changes or you're simply looking for a trusted partner to guide you through the complexities of digital marketing, don't hesitate to reach out.
We're always happy to share some insights and explore how we can help you take your business to the next level.
Now, as we move towards the final part of our deep dive, let's shift our focus to some specific actionable strategies that businesses can implement to adapt to these changes and gain a competitive edge in this new e-commerce landscape.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but the key takeaway is that these changes are here to stay, and they're only going to become more pronounced in the years to come. So the businesses that embrace these changes, adapt their strategies, and prioritize the customer experience will be the ones that succeed.
Oh.
Okay, so let's get into some really practical strategies here that businesses can use to really thrive in this new e-commerce landscape.
Bruh.
I think one thing we keep coming back to is just the absolute importance of optimizing those product pages. It's not enough to just throw up some basic product information and hope for the best anymore.
Right, each product page needs to be treated like its own landing page, meticulously crafted to engage visitors and guide them towards a purchase. We're talking compelling product descriptions, high-quality images, user reviews, videos, even interactive elements.
Yeah, I was reading an article the other day about a company that saw a significant increase in conversions just by adding 360-degree product views to their pages. It's all about giving those customers the information they need to make an informed decision.
Exactly, and don't forget about mobile optimization. More and more people are shopping on their phones these days. So make sure your product pages are responsive, they load quickly, and provide a seamless browsing experience no matter what device someone's using.
Yeah, it's super important. And also integrating those long tail keywords that we talked about earlier. Remember, it's not just about ranking for those generic terms anymore. It's about capturing those highly specific searches that reflect the actual needs and desires of your target audience.
Think about the questions that your customers are asking, the problems they're trying to solve, the language that they're using. Use that information to craft your product descriptions, your titles, your meta descriptions.
And don't forget about the power of storytelling. You can weave those keywords into a compelling narrative that connects with your audience on an emotional level. People buy from brands they trust and relate to, so let your brand's personality shine through in those product descriptions.
Absolutely. Speaking of trust, user reviews are more important than ever. Encourage your satisfied customers to leave reviews on your product pages and on third-party platforms. Potential buyers are much more likely to trust the opinions of their peers than just the claims made by a brand.
Right, and don't be afraid to showcase those positive reviews in your market and materials as well. Social proof is a powerful tool for building credibility and driving conversions.
Now let's talk about product data feeds. As we discussed earlier, Google is relying heavily on these feeds to populate its product grids and features, so it's essential to ensure that your data is accurate, complete, and optimized.
One of the sources we were reading actually suggested using a tool like Google Manufacturer Center to help manage and optimize your product data. It allows you to provide Google with really rich product information like images, videos, detailed specifications, that kind of stuff.
And it also helps ensure consistency across all of your different sales channels, which is crucial for maintaining a strong brand presence and avoiding any customer confusion.
Another key strategy for adapting to this new e-commerce landscape is embracing the power of voice search. More and more people are using voice assistants like Alexa and Google Assistant to search for products and make purchases.
That's right. And voice search queries tend to be more conversational and long tail in nature. So it's important to optimize your content for those types of queries. Think about how people would ask a question about your product using natural language and incorporate those phrases into your product descriptions and your website copy.
It's also a good idea to claim and optimize your Google My Business listing, as this can help you show up in those local voice search results.
Now, for our affiliate marketers out there, the challenge is a bit different. As Google prioritizes those direct product listings, affiliate sites need to find ways to stand out and offer value beyond just basic product reviews.
One strategy is to focus on creating really in-depth guides, tutorials, comparison articles that provide a level of expertise and insight that Google's algorithm just can't replicate.
Think about the pain points that your target audience is experiencing and create content that provides actionable solutions, become the go-to resource for information in your niche.
Another key strategy is to build a strong brand identity and cultivate a loyal following. This can help you establish that trust and authority that are so essential for converting those visitors into customers.
Don't be afraid to inject your personality into your content, engage with your audience on social media, build a community around your brand, and make people feel like they're part of something special.
And finally, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your traffic sources by exploring other marketing channels,
Yeah.
like email marketing, social media, advertising, influencer collaborations, that kind of stuff.
The e-commerce landscape is constantly evolving, so stay agile, stay informed, and be prepared to adapt. By embracing these changes and adopting a customer-centric approach, you can position your business for long-term success in this exciting new era of online shopping.
We hope this deep dive has provided you with some valuable insights and some practical strategies that you can use to kind of navigate this evolving world of e-commerce SEO. Remember, knowledge is power, And by staying ahead of the curve, you can transform these challenges into opportunities for growth and innovation.
Absolutely. And as always, if you're feeling overwhelmed or you need help implementing these strategies, don't hesitate to reach out to Shield Media. We're here to help Western businesses like yours thrive in the digital world.
That's right. We're super passionate about helping businesses succeed online, and we would love to chat with you about your specific needs and goals. You can find us over on our website or connect with us on social media. And before we sign off, don't forget to hit that follow button so you don't miss out on any future deep dives. We're constantly exploring the latest trends and strategies in digital marketing, and we're excited to share our insights with you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next episode.